sort of darker, grittier indies, Y Tu Mama Tambien, Great Expectations, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, a big departure for him. And he made one of my all-time favorite sci-fi films, Children of Men. Yes. Alfonso Cuarón. And his latest film is Gravity with George Clooney. Our next gentleman, he made another one of my favorite films, one of the greatest romantic comedies ever made in my opinion, right. 500 Days of Summer. Then he jumped into the web slinger with The Amazing Spider-Man, and he's currently at work on The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Mark Webb. And this last guy, I know you're going to like him. I'm just going to mention a couple of titles. Spaced, probably know. Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah!
Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah!
His latest is The World's End. He's so good at destroying the world, he should be a James Bond villain. Mr. Edgar Wright. Guys, thanks for being here.
I'm on an Alfonso Edgar sandwich. It's a pretty great moment.
I think I'm only on this panel because I have the same initials as Entertainment Weekly.
Exactly. You've got an N. Guys, I guess the first question I have for you, so you have Gravity, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, The World's End. These are all your current projects. I wondered if we could just start and go down the line. What was something in your film that you dreamed of that excited you the most about making it real, or at least making it real in quotes on the screen?
Oh, start with that. Well, the new film, The World's End, is a culmination of the films I made with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. The first one, Shaun of the Dead, and then Hot Fuzz. And with this one, we wanted to kind of wrap up like a thematic trilogy. And I guess what we've done with the three films, or I sort of realized what we've done with this one, was that we, the three different genres, like a zombie film, a cop film, and this one's a sci-fi film, but they're really like Trojan horses to make relationship comedies, really. And so it's usually that me and Simon take something from our personal experience, in this case the rather bittersweet experience of going back to your hometown and reconnecting with old friends, and combining that with a cataclysmic, otherworldly event. So it's usually us taking kind of something that's happened in our lives and adding maximum devastation.
How about you, Mark? What was it on The Amazing Spider-Man 2 that you were just really excited to dive into?
It continues from the first movie, which was like, I love, taking on really simple, relatable personal relationships and putting them in the context of something massive and extreme. I mean, that's what's fun. I mean, you get the little 12-year-old in me, it gets really excited to get up in the morning and blow shit up. But the thing that I think, what I realized when I was as I got older, is that the things that are meaningful and things that are exciting and things that I feel like that I enjoy doing the most are sort of the relationship stuff at the base, that sort of ground these movies. And I think if you don't have that you really can lose something. But that's something that it's really fun to do in the midst of, like you say, maximum devastation. Do something like small and intimate, and like something where somebody's head turning means something. I think that's a really fun, exciting thing to get to do every morning.
And Alfonso, on Gravity, what was it in the development of the script, which you wrote with your son?
Yeah.
What was it that you were most excited to finally get to set and create?
Well, I guess that it was this idea of one single human floating in space, completely alone. And the idea of doing that character and turn everything into a suspenseful action film, with minimal elements, and trusting that through cinematic media, I was going to be able to put the audiences in space with our characters, so enduring what the character is enduring.
So for those who aren't familiar, the trailer's out there, so I'm sure many of you have seen it, but George Clooney and Sandra Bullock play two astronauts who, there's an accident while they're in orbit and they end up stranded.
Calculation, because when I finished writing the script, I sent it to Chivo, to Emmanuel Lubezki, the cinematographer of Children of Men, among many others. And I said, let's do this, Chivo. It's 1-2 characters. It's very simple. We shoot it in 1 year, and we're out of it. And for the next 4.5 years, he kept on reminding me that. You know, it's and the thing is that once that we tried to ground the script, it was very clear that the technology to make the film didn't exist.
What technology did you need without getting...
Well, the thing is that the characters are floating all the time. They're in zero gravity, and not only floating, but they are like spinning in different axes. And that doesn't happen in planet Earth. So we tried several things. We tried the famous vomit comet.
The vomit comet is, for those who don't know, a ship that goes up into near the stratosphere.
Well, it's a plane.
Yeah, a plane, but spaceship. You know.
Yeah.
It's a UFO that goes up into the stratosphere.
Well, the thing is that yes, it's the one that they use in Apollo 13 to zoom some of the scenes, which pretty much is called a parabolic flight. It goes up and then just plummets. In reality, you don't float; you're just falling. You're free falling, but inside the plane. So you have the impression that you're floating. And it's fantastic, so much fun. The problem is that you're limited to the space of the plane, and also that it lasts for 20 seconds. The way I've been doing films, and particularly this film, requires very extended takes. So it was impossible to use it. So we have to invent some other stuff.
So what did you invent?
Well,
or is it patent pending?
No, it's not patent pending, it's just boring as hell. It's just a lot of, because each segment required different technologies, but the core of it was robotics. We use, you know, the robots that they used to build cars, that were adapted for cameras and lights, together with for a big chunk of the film, of the shoot, Sandra Bullock was inside this 9x9 cube. That is a perfect cube in which all the walls are LED lights, in which she was in the center in a contraption that would gyrate a little bit. And around her, it was her environment, pretty much her point of view. And that would mean that that point of view was lighting her. So rather than having the character moving like this, the character was static and everything was moving around her.
What was this experience like for George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, who have to be put into this puppeteering mechanism and turned upside down and spun?
Well, the only thing that all these techniques they have in common is that they were very, very painful.
Yeah.
They,
Sorry, George.
Yeah. And well, Sandra, whenever she was not insulated in the cube, she was just working out because it was the only way for her to, you know, to endure the whole thing. But at the end, it was great. The two of them were fantastic. It's easier when they are separated because a lot of the scenes we have to shoot them separate. When they were together, they team against you. It's like, and the whole thing they have all the time was, it was like a competition they have about impersonating my accent. It was just an ongoing thing.
Who was better at it?
No, they suck. They're funny though, because they play me as a Cuban, not as a Mexican.
That's so racist.
I don't know if it's racist.
Let's call it.
Lack of ear, you know, it's like.
So Mark, you also have